Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be unboxing Warhammer Underworlds Beastgrave. In this video we'll be unboxing the Beastgrave set for Warhammer Underworlds. We'll take a look at all the contents, go through the sprues, the cards, the instruction book, and then hopefully this will give you a good idea if this is a set that you'd like to pick up. This game came out in 2020 and the RRP is £50 and is still available. Even though it came out last year, you can still pick this up, and it's a great addition to go alongside the more recent Direchasm set that came out. And I'll put some links in the description so you can find it on Amazon and also at Element Games. And there'll be affiliate links, but they won't cost you anything extra. In fact, at Element Games, you can save up to 20% with all your purchases there. And for every sale made through a link, I get a small commission. That's going to help me do more videos like this. So thanks so much for that support. I really appreciate it. Right, so let's take a look at the box, and we get some great art on the box. I really like the whole Beastgrave aesthetic, and the war bands that came out for it were really great. So a really good season again last year, and I really like the artwork on the front. On the sides there, we're just getting some images, and then on the back, it's going to tell us exactly what we're going to get in the box. If you haven't played Warhammer Underworlds before, then this is a great place to start, and it tells us that Warhammer Underworlds Beastgrave is an action-packed combat game for 2 players. Gather your warband, enhance your warriors with unique skills and upgrades, and lead them to victory against your foes. A real fun game to play, pretty quick to get started. There's quite a lot of rules to go through, but easy to get into. And in this box, you're going to get some really awesome miniatures to start with. You're going to get altogether 6 Grashrak Despoiler fighters, and that's these ones. Here's Grashrak Fellhoof, and these are from the Beasts of Chaos. So these are really awesome miniatures, and some of my favourites, the Beasts of Chaos. You've also got Skaeth's Wild Hunter fighters, and here he is here. And these look awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing these. I haven't seen any of these miniatures from this faction before. And you're also going to get the 40-page full rulebook with everything you need to know to play. An 8-page learn to play booklet to get you up and ready pretty quick. You're going to get 11 fighter cards, 2 double-sided game boards, 102 upgrade, ploy and objective cards, 126 tokens, and 11 Warhammer Underworlds dice. And these are really easy to build warbands. You don't even need glue. You simply cut them out the sprue, pop them together. You're going to get all the details to construct your own deck, but they also do pre-made decks in here as well to get you started quickly. And they say the game lasts about 30 minutes, which is about right, and it's age 12 plus. So there we go. That's everything we're going to get. So let's get it open and see what's inside. Always exciting opening a new box, and this one looks really good. I'm really looking forward to seeing the miniatures. And if you play Warhammer Underworlds already, this is going to be a great addition to add some really fun warbands. But don't forget, you don't have to use these miniatures in just Underworlds game. They're perfect for games like Warcry as well. So here we go, that's the wrapping off. Let's remove the lid and see what we're going to get inside. So here we go. The first thing we get is our pack with all our tokens in, and our boards as well. So that's all sealed in there. So a nice chunky pack. Let's spin that around. We've got our rule book, and this is also going to include the instructions and the quick rule guide as well. And then it's all nicely protected. I really like how they put this together. So you're going to get your sprues as well. So 2 sprues, 1 for each warband. We've got our 11 Warhammer Underworlds dice. We've got 3 card packs altogether. So we'll get 1 for Skaeth's Wild Hunt. We'll get 1 for Grashrak's Despoilers. And then we'll get 1 extra cards, which is like the universal cards that any warband will use. They always give you tons of these baggies so you can keep everything nice and organised. And with all these tokens and everything, these come in really handy. And then this is a little thing here. You can scan to read a sample chapter of the Beastgrave book. So that would be cool. So that's included as well. And you can see you just get this little insert. But there's nothing else in there. That's just to keep things nicely protected. And then when you've kind of built this and you started playing, everything can fit back in the box nicely, including the miniatures, and this kind of helps protect those. Now we've got everything open, let's take a close look at the sprues, then we'll look at all the tokens and the boards, and then we'll go through the book and the card packs. So here's our first sprue, and this one is for Grashrak Skaeth, the Beasts of Chaos, and I'm really looking forward to getting these put together. In this video I'm just going to do an overview of everything that's included, but I'll do a separate video for each warband where we do a deep dive into their cards, and then you can see them all assembled. But here we are. So, I mean, these Underworlds are brilliant, how they put together the warbands with the pre-formed bases, so they're really quick to build, and then you don't have to even do any crafting on the bases, which I think is really nice, and they're always really high detailed. So you can see the fur is fantastic. Let's just make sure we focus on that a bit better. Really great detail on these, and these are going to be awesome. And the poses are always very unique. Like we've got an archer figure here, and he's posed in a really nice way, totally different to the ones you'd get in the Age of Sigmar sets. And so there's the first sprue. So that's for Grashrak Skaeth. Now let's take a look at Skaeth's Wild Hunt. And again, nice bases, very detailed and totally different. So we've got a nice contrast here. Here we've got all nice flowers. They're going to be all bright and colourful. And we've got a beast as well, which looks great. This is going to be so cool to put together. And then the kind of almost centaur figure, brilliant. And there's been a recent like sneak preview of these kind of faction on the Warhammer community site. So this could be something that they expand on in Age of Sigmar, which I'm looking forward to seeing. But there we are, loads of great detail. So beautiful miniatures, great sculpts, and these are going to be really fun to paint as well. So that's our sprues. Now let's take a look at the tokens and the boards. So in this pack we get 2 boards full of our tokens, and then we get the 2 battle boards as well. And the tokens are really nice. They just pop out really easy, just push them out, and then you can always trim like these little bits off if you want to, but I don't think you need to. And so once you pop them out, you can then get rid of this extra piece of card. And you'll see that these have got 2 sides, so you can use these for different tokens during the game. Here's your glory points, which is what the game's all about. Here's like your movement and everything. And so really nice. I really like the tokens in Warhammer Underworld, and the whole artwork altogether is really good. So here's some great artwork there. And then the next one, you'll see that the tokens are different. So they're not all the same, and they're all numbered as well, which comes into play as you get into the game and you start using your objective cards. These numbers, you'll see why they're there and why they're numbered. So there we are. Oh, we get 3. So we get 3 cards. Here's some more. Number 9. So we get 3 cards full of tokens like this. So really nice. Great detail on those. So that's our tokens. And don't forget, you've got all these little baggies. So once you pop them out, you can put them in the bags and keep them all nice and organised. And then we've got our 2 battle boards. And I'm sure these are going to feature heavily on skulls and skeletons and bones, which they do. It looks so cool. With the hexes, you don't almost see the artwork right away. If you kind of imagine or try not to see the white outlines, you can really take a good look at the artwork. And it's really nice, really fun to play on. And these are double-sided, so if we flip it over, we get another one there. Really nice. And then here's our second board. Again, we're getting all these bones and like fossils. Awesome. And that's a good one with the big almost dragon skull there. So these are really nice. I really like these. And then you would play with 2 boards, so you put them together, and there's different ways you can assemble them. You could even put them lengthways, and so that plays into the tactics a lot depending on which warband you're playing. So there we go. There's all the tokens and boards. Now we'll take a look at the rulebook. So in this pack with the books, you get the rulebook, you get a learn to play book, whatever this is. Haven't seen this. It looks like a little flyer to advertise something. Fight epic battles in an age of unending wars. This is promote Age of Sigmar. So don't forget you can use the miniatures in Age of Sigmar. So you can like proxy them for different models and things like that. And then we also get the little instruction page there. Very easy to put together. So these are all push fit. You don't need glue, but I tend to glue them. And you'll see on all the Underworld sets, they've got like little kind of bits of plastic here, little holes that they go into. And I'll often trim those and then glue it instead. And you get a better seal. So, but this season that came out with Direchasm, the miniatures have been fitting together really nicely. So, but it's kind of good idea just to trim them a little bit and then glue them, I think. Especially if you're going to paint them and you want them to look really great. So there we go, there's our instruction book, nice and easy, doesn't take long to build these miniatures at all. Then we've got the small learn to play book, and so this one is really just to get you started quickly and give you like an introduction to the game. And here we're getting a little glance at what the miniatures are going to look like now. So let's have a close-up of these because they're brilliant, they're really good. So here's Skaeth's Wild Hunt. Make sure that focuses. And these are stunning, really nice. And I've got a friend called Sergey who's an awesome painter, and he's done these to look fantastic. And you can find him on Instagram, and I'll put a link in the description so you can go and check him out. But he's done a great job painting these, stunning. So yeah, really worth looking at his Instagram page. But there's Skaeth's Wild Hunt, and then Grashrak Skaeth on the back, looking really great. Some great poses, and yeah, I can't wait to get these built. This one looks very similar to a model you can make from the Beasts of Chaos set, but these are very nice. These are nice poses here. So these three in particular are very different. So I'm looking forward to getting those built. So there we go. So this explains what all the tokens are, what all the symbols on the dice mean, the attack dice. And so it gives you a quick introduction really to get started with a little tutorial, a little trial game to play. And so it goes through the combat, the different phases and things like that. And if you're interested in learning to play, I am going to be doing some videos on how to play Underworlds, so look out for those coming really soon. But that's the first book, and then you've also got the rulebook, the main rulebook. So this is a 40-page rulebook, and now this is going to go into everything you need to know to play Warhammer Underworlds. I'll be using the Direchasm rulebook because it's the most up-to-date one when I do the videos, but it's all going to apply to Beastgrave too, and the rules are going to be very similar. There'll be a few updates and things like that. But whichever set you get, you're going to get the rules. And then you can look at the erratas and the rule updates, and they'll be on the Warhammer community site. So I would say that Warhammer Underworlds is a pretty easy game to play and get started with. But there are quite a lot of rules. And if you want to master it and get good at it, I think it can take a while to get used to the cards, building your own deck, figuring out what the different warbands do and which ones you like to play the most. So although it looks quite a small rulebook, and it looks quite simple, this main rulebook is packed with information, and there's a lot really to learn if you want to master the game. But to get started quickly, you can just use the learn to play one and get started really quick. So, you know, it's got a lot to offer, this game, although it looks small and like you haven't got many fighters, you know, and this rulebook is very thin. There is a lot of depth to it and a lot to learn and to master. So I think for that, it's really fun, and it really makes you think as well as you play. But here we go. So here's the rulebook, and this is going to go really into the nice narrative and the background of the story. Tell us what Beastgrave is, what it's all about, and introduce us to some of the warbands. And we've got some really nice warbands released alongside this set, like expansions. But Skaeth's and Grashrak's Despoilers get a real good introduction here with some nice background. And I'll be doing unboxings for all the other expansion sets that came with Beastgraves as well. And some are up already, so you can check those out. But here we go. So this is the introduction. Now we're going to go really deep on the fighter cards, telling us all about them and what each element of the cards means. And then we've got all the other cards. So it's going to break that down into objectives, upgrades, and gambits. And it really explains everything you need to know here. Then it talks about the battlefield and what all the hexes mean. So all the hexes are going to mean different things. So that's going to tell you everything in here. And then we've got a game sequence. So the game sequence is pretty straightforward. And then, again, it goes into detail about each one. Then we've got the action phase. Then we've got combat sequence and damage. So you can see there's quite a lot here. But once you play a few games, it's very easy to get along and play it. But there is quite a bit to read through. And I think when I do the videos, I'll make quite a few videos for this to really break it down and go into detail, much like I did with Warcry. But here we go. It also goes into spells, gambit cards, modifiers, the scatter end phase, and then playing on to victory. And then alternative rules, so if you want to play match play, a campaign, or multiplayer games, that's all in there too. So a fair bit to read through. Don't be put off with this. Don't, you know, that. Like I said, it's pretty easy to learn, but if you want to master it, you've got to know all of this information. And it's pretty straightforward once you get playing a few games. So looking at the book can be a bit off-putting, I think, when you look at all this writing here. But once you get it out on the board, it all makes complete sense. So very easy to pick up. Towards the back of the book on page 36, you're going to get a glossary of terms. And this is really important. I think I refer to this a lot, especially when I first started playing a few games. And I haven't played it as much as I'd like to, so I've still got loads to learn with the Underworlds. But this is a really helpful glossary that I think will come in really handy. So it's 3 pages with all the different terms, and then it kind of names the boards here. And then on the back, it's really great. On page 40, you get a really nice reference. And then this is something you can have alongside you as you're playing, and it goes through the combat sequence with a nice kind of flow chart about how the game will go, what to do if a certain thing happens or not. Is the target tracked? Yes, then you follow down here. If not, you follow along here. And so it really can help you to get the game running smoothly quite quickly. Also with the different dice combinations, this table is brilliant, determining success. This is a really great table to refer to, and it's got a little bit more information there. So this reference page, combined with the glossary of terms, is perfect, really helpful, and really helps the game play smoothly. That's our rule books, so now let's take a look at the cards. So in this set we're going to get 3 packs. We're going to get 1 for Skaeth's Wild Hunt, 1 for Grashrak's Despoilers, and then 1 pack of extra cards. And it tells you on the extra pack here to don't open this until you've played a few games. This pack includes extra objective cards and power cards that you can use to construct new decks for each warband. So that's good information. I would definitely recommend sticking to that. These 2 decks are pre-made and built so that it's really easy to get started with each warband. So these will be custom cards for the warbands, and then that'll be a lot easier for you to pick up, and the cards match the style of gameplay that each warband will bring. And so these are going to be completely different cards that don't necessarily, they're not all going to be great for Grashrak's Despoilers, for example. You just pick out like maybe a few that can add and improve on that deck. And that's where the deck building comes into it. In each of the expansion sets, you'll get more cards like this, and from all the other sets as well. Some you can't use anymore, I think, but most you can. And so then you can start adding and building your deck. But that comes once you've played a few games. But let's take a look at Grashrak's Despoilers first. And it says here, to open this when you play your first game, this pack includes fighter cards, objective deck, and power deck for Grashrak's Despoilers. And then so on the back we get more artwork. Really great artwork. I love it. So good. And then we're going to get our fighter cards. And you'll notice that these are 2-sided. And I'll go into this a lot in the rules and when we do some gameplay. But you'll get your fighter card on one side where you start the game. And then once you're inspired, you flip the card. And then you get some increases and bonuses in what those fighters can do. So we get a fighter card for each of the fighters. And then we've got our objective cards. And I'll just run through quickly now. I'm not going to read through these. I'll do that in a separate video when we do a deep dive on each warband. But just to show you the artwork and what kind of things you're going to get, I'll go through it like this. So you could pause it and read it if you want to. But the artwork's really nice. I'm really happy to have a Beasts of Chaos warband as well. That's really awesome. So these are all our objectives. It's so fun playing the different objectives. Then we've got our ploy and gambit cards. Really nice artwork again. And because these are all specific to the Beasts of Chaos, it's going to be the artwork with them featured in it. Really good. So it's totally different aesthetic. Like if you're playing other games like Warcry, this is going to look totally different. But it's really nice. There we go. So that's great. So that's all the cards you're going to get there for Grashrak's Despoilers. And usually when you get the expansion sets, you'll get a card that tells you about the warband, but you're going to use the book for these ones, where we looked at earlier in the rulebook. You'll get all the information you need. Okay, now let's look at Skaeth's Wild Hunt. And the same again, open it when you play your first game, and then we're going to get all our fighter cards. Really nice pictures. These are great. And this is a great looking warband. Really awesome. So both of these warbands really appeal to me. So I'm looking forward to learning about both of them. And now here we go. We'll go for our objective cards. More great artwork. Really nice. So there's lots of reading to do as you read through the deck and you learn what to do. So you'd read like the description, what you have to do, the conditions to meet it. And like for this one, you get 5 glory points. And so you could set up your whole tactics around these objective cards. Hold objective 1 or 2 or 3, 4. So these are all about holding objectives. Really great. Then we've got our Gambit and Ploy cards. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Beast brings to the game and how they can use that. I wonder if they'll tie it in, like you have to use a fighter with the Beast to do certain things. We'll wait and see. Well, that's a really good image. Really nice. So yeah, can't wait to read through all these properly. But hopefully this will give you a good idea of what the cards look like, what's included. There we are. So that's all those cards. So that's the 2 cards packs that come for the warbands. Now let's look through the extra cards and we'll check out the artwork on that too. So get rid of that one. And so here we're going to get objective cards. And this is going to have some artwork from different fighters and different warbands. But it's going to obviously all be themed around Beastgrave and mostly focus on the 2 warbands that are included in this set. And as you get the expansions, you find that the extra cards like this tend to focus on the warband that's included with that expansion. So the artwork will reflect that. And then you can, once you mix them all together, you get a really nice mix of all the different art from the different warbands. So really good. And these are, these are going to favour these 2 warbands as well. They're going to be designed to work best for them. But there's going to be some in here that you can certainly use with other warbands to improve them. And then so you really can change your tactics with these cards and combine it with the strengths of, and also make up for the weaknesses maybe of whichever warband you choose to play. So they're really nice. We've got 2 of those. A little bit different, are they? 2 of the same card. There we go. So that's that pack. So that's all the card packs now. And we've pretty much gone through everything. So let's have a quick recap. I nearly forgot the dice, but here we go. So we get 11 dice altogether. We get 3 black, 5 white, and 3 of this nice turquoisey colour. And they've got the symbols on, which you'll learn from the book, what they all mean. So nice dice, really good. And the extra dice sets are great. I've done a review on 1 pack of those that I picked up, and they are really nice. And there's some really nice purple ones that have come out recently. So there's the dice that come with it. So that's everything now that comes in the Beastgrave box. And I think for £50 RRP, and if you can get that save in Element Games, you can save up to 20%. I think this is great value. You get 11 miniatures, you get these boards, tons of tokens, dice and cards. And I think it's a really nice set to get started with. And I'm really happy with this. I can't wait to get these built and really look through the cards. And so look out for the videos coming for each of the warbands where I'll do a deep dive looking at them in detail. With this game, you really handle the cards a lot. And so I'd recommend picking up some card protectors. And I use these Dragon Shield Clear Classics. And I've done a video on these. And they're going to come with these little film envelopes that you put each card in. And then you can get a box like this by Ultrapo, and this is like £2 or £3, so quite cheap, and then you can keep all your cards in it really neatly, and they're going to be protected nicely as you play. And so these are great because the light, it kind of hits it a little bit, but it doesn't hardly reflect it at all. So these are really useful to have, and I'd say if you're keen on collecting and making this game last and going to play it a lot, then well, to tip them all out, then I definitely recommend you pick up some card protectors. I'd love to hear what you think about this, and I really enjoy reading through all the comments you put on the videos. So let me know in the comments below what you think, what you like, what you don't like. If you've got this already, which warband do you play, which one do you prefer, and what are your favourite cards that were included here, and also any tips for tactics for each of these warbands. I'd love to hear what you've got to offer, so join in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page. And thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out. And you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description and it'd be great to see you there. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this gave you a good look and insight into what you get in the set, so you can decide if this is something that you'd like to pick up. I'm really happy with it, and yeah, I can't wait to get playing. And don't forget the description. We'll have all the links for this set, and also I'll put links there to some of the expansions too, so you can take a look at those. But thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.